Gonna be a forward. What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Not a Football Show. My name is Tico from the Tico Fantasy Show, and I am here with my pal, Sully Sports. What's going on, Sully?
Talking about football.
We're talking about football. We're going to be doing another 2-minute drill today. We are going to be going over all of the games from Sunday. We had a lot of field goals.
A lot of field goals. A lot of game-winning field goals.
We like game-winning field goals. They're always fun.
Game-winning field goals.
Yeah.
We do. But before we get into the games, let's go ahead and talk about our record from the predictions of games this week.
I know I did good.
Tico went a whopping 9-3.
Oh, that might be my best one all season.
Be. I went 6-6.
Oh,
it was not
take
pretty.
This L.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it. But let's not waste any time.
No, let's not waste it. Let's go into the games. Producer Kev, tell us when to start.
You may begin.
Okay, great. The first game we're going to be talking about is the game that happened in a different country, Germany. We are going to be talking about the Colts versus the Patriots. The Colts come out on top 10-6.
It has officially happened. Jonathan Taylor has taken over. Zach Moss, one measly carry for 2 yards. One singular carry. One carry. That's how many. Jonathan Taylor, 23 of them, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Not very efficient, but still, it's good to see him getting all the carries.
No, yeah, definitely. I like seeing it.
I mean, if you're a Jonathan Taylor owner, you're a happy guy.
I am. Did you know Michael Pittman is second in the league in targets and is on pace for 167 targets? He's been dogging.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. He's the wide receiver one in that offense. He's proven that. He's proven that he deserves some money.
Yeah, pay that man.
Yeah, pay that guy.
Pay that man. There's a few plays on this game where Minshew Magic was in full effect, just running around while Sweet Caroline's playing and just throwing dots.
Still not a great game, though. I mean, 10-6.
No, how great could 10-6 be?
It was pretty awful, and the fact that 6 didn't come, it was 3 for a very long time until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
This is a really bad game. I can't believe I had to wake up at 9:30 on a goddamn Sunday to watch this stupid game.
You want to know the worst part about it?
What?
The worst part about this game? How are you going to have a quarterback play the entire game and then bench him on the last game-winning drive? Like, I get it. Max sucks. I don't blame you benching him. But on the last drive, bringing in a guy who hasn't played all game...
They're trying to lose. That's tanking. They are trying to lose.
It makes zero sense. That's the only explanation, because even if Mac has sucked all game, you waited 3 and whatever eighths quarter to keep him in the game and put Bailey Zappi in. It makes absolutely zero sense.
It was funny to watch, though.
Yeah.
When was the last time we saw a fake spike?
Yeah.
It's been a fat minute.
It's been a minute, but it was really nice. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I love seeing the Patriots fall and lose.
We all do.
We love that, but it just doesn't make any sense. Fire Bill Belichick, old ass.
Facts.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Browns versus the Ravens. This was a much higher scoring game than people expected, 33-31.
It seems
Browns come out on top.
They did come out on top. It seems like every single game, Deshaun Watson gets hurt 6 times.
Yeah.
Like he's like a shell. Like he's just like constantly being cracked. Like I don't understand. He always comes back.
He comes back. He always comes back.
Yeah,
unless it was the end of... Did you see the end of the game? Or not the end of the game. It was the end of the first half.
Yeah.
They sent P.J. Walker out there because I don't think Deshaun Watson... I don't think he can throw far still because that shoulder injury.
I think he actually went to the locker room early. That's why they sent him out. So, but in other news, Keaton Mitchell.
Hey, if he touches the ball 4 times a game... You got a guy who's great for fantasy.
Yeah, he's on his Devon Achane
yes, his
level
Devon
right
Achane
now.
arc.
Yes, 3 carries, 34 yards, 1 touchdown. Nice. Odell Beckham Jr.
1 reception for 32.
Ooh, I didn't even see that.
That was where a bunch of the points came from. It's just if you can get the ball in that guy's hands, he can make something happen with it.
Definitely. Odell Beckham Jr. revenge game looked like prime OBJ on 1 catch for a slant to the house. So
hey,
that was
we'll
nice
take it. It's fun to see. He did a little jig.
Yeah, he did. I was really hoping he was gonna whip it, nay, but he
that would have
didn't.
been funny.
Myles Garrett made Lamar Jackson's life very difficult. It's rare you see Lamar Jackson get pressured as much as he does with how fast he is, but Myles Garrett was just...
They were beating on him, bro.
Yeah,
they were beating on him. He also threw 2 interceptions. It wasn't not a good day for Lamar.
No, it wasn't. It started off pretty good.
It did, but it didn't end well.
No, it didn't. It started off with a nice Baltimore Kyle Hamilton pick 6. And then
that was nice.
Ended in an L. So
walked it into the end zone.
He was.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Kyle Hamilton at the slot corner. That's scary, bro. That's scary.
It is.
Man's too tall to be playing that position.
Too tall. Jerome Ford, 17 carries, 107 yards. That's nice. Amari Cooper's been very good. 6 receptions, 98 yards. Elijah Moore, touchdown. Elijah Moore.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Packers versus the Steelers. The Steelers come out on top 23-19, even though it did not feel like that.
No, it didn't. Jalen Warren and Najee Harris both had games. Who would? Hey, man, if you told me that 2 weeks ago that Najee Harris and Jalen Warren were both going to have very good games.
I would have called you a crazy man.
Yeah, I would have laughed. I would have spit on you. I don't know. Just spit on you right in your face because I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah. But Jalen Warren, 15 carries for 101 yards. Najee Harris, 16 carries for 82. Jalen Warren's good. Jalen Warren's like, if that doesn't show that Jalen Warren's better than Najee Harris, I mean, it's good to see that they're giving him more carries. I like to see that, and I hope we get to see more of that in the future, them splitting this backfield or it being more favored towards Jalen Warren than Najee.
Yeah.
Even though Najee still had a really good game.
Yeah, he had, what did he have?
16 for 82 and a touchdown.
82.
Both had touchdowns.
They both did. You know who didn't have touchdowns? Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. I hate that guy. Yeah. I hate him.
You hate Kenny Pickett.
Think about how much better the Steelers would be if, like, you still had old man Big Ben in there. Even that would still be a better team than it is right now. And they're still winning games.
Yeah, who would have thunk it?
I wouldn't.
On the other side of the ball, A.J. Dillon, 9 carries, 70 yards. He's played a little bit better than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, 13 carries, 35 yards.
Not a great day for him.
Yeah, not great. Jordan Love, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Those even out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like the whole time I was watching this game, it felt like the Packers were very much in the lead. And then we get to the end and the Steelers win.
Jaden Reed, 5 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Cool. Romeo Doubs, touchdown. Cool. Not much to say about this game.
No, I mean, there's nobody. I'm not excited about anything. Kenny Pickett pisses me off, and that's it. Yeah.
Najee Harris, second half of the year player.
Yeah. Ruined Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson did nothing. George Pickens barely did anything. Everybody barely did anything in the passing game. He only threw for 126 yards.
Yeah, who did something, though? T.J. Watt passing his brother for most sacks in first, 100
games?
100 games, and still got a few more games
They made sure to bring it up 25 times on NFL Red Zone.
Yes, they did. It brought up that graphic.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Texans versus the Bengals. C.J. Stroud and the Texans beat Joe Burrow 32-27.
Yes, they did. No T. Higgins, and we just heard that there's going to be no T. Higgins again next week, most likely. But C.J. Stroud and game-winning drives go together like peanut butter and jam.
Yes, I hate how people are making excuses for the Bengals, saying, "Oh, Joe Burrow didn't have T. Higgins, and they were missing some guys on defense. They were missing a bunch of people, and that's why the Bengals lost." Screw you, bro. Screw you. C.J. Stroud beat Joe Burrow, and that's what happened. Eat it.
Actually, Devin Singletary beat Joe Burrow.
Hey, man, C.J. Stroud played a big part in it too, though.
Yeah.
That battle was mostly C.J. Stroud versus Joe Burrow, and C.J. Stroud came out on top.
And Joe Burrow threw 2 interceptions, so that wasn't very good.
Stroud threw 1, but hey, man, it's less than Joe Burrow.
It is less than Joe Burrow. Noah Brown, 7 receptions, 172 yards on 8 targets. What a guy.
Over 300 yards in the past 2 games combined.
Yeah,
I think it's 328.
C.J. Stroud loves that guy, man.
He does, and with I think if we saw Nico Collins there, that number would have been much lower, and we would have saw half of that go towards Nico Collins, but works for me.
Yeah, probably. Tank Dell, still 8, 6 for 56, and a touchdown. Dalton
11
Schultz,
targets.
11. No, 14 targets.
14. Oh, my,
Jesus.
more.
Yeah.
It went up.
Dalton Schultz, 4 for 71. Very nice for a tight end. Devin Singletary, 30 carries.
Yeah, that's crazy.
30 carries.
30 for 150. Whew.
Yeah, very nice.
Damian Pierce, who?
Who? Never heard of him. Jamar Chase had a very good game. So did Tyler Boyd. Trent Irwin had a touchdown on one of the first plays of the game.
Very beginning.
Very early. But, yeah, it's all right game.
I thought it was a good game. It came down to the last minute, and I love seeing C.J. Stroud win.
Houston's scary, man.
Yeah,
Houston's going to the playoffs. Houston's going to the Super Bowl.
Houston is winning that division.
Yeah, I think so.
Screw the Jags.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Saints versus the Vikings. The Saints lose 19-27. Josh Dobbs is the man.
Josh Dobbs. Jameis Winston is good for fantasy, but not good for real football.
I mean, they didn't score many points before he came into the game, so...
Yeah, they didn't throw many interceptions before he came into the game.
That's also true. That's
what it is. It's a perfect balance of touchdowns and interceptions. That's why he's good for fantasy and not good for actual football.
I don't care. I still want to see him out there. Rather see him out there than Derek Carr. Derek Carr just throws interceptions.
I think there was a stat, Let me see. Yeah, Chris Olave had 9 targets in the game. He only had 1 target from Derek Carr.
It felt like he was being targeted every play. I know you say it's only 9, but man, it felt like 15.
Yeah, because it all came in like a span of like the second half. So I mean, if you have Chris Olave, you want Jameis Winston to be playing football because he had 6 receptions for 94 yards and a crazy touchdown.
Jameis Winston is the key to Chris Olave being a top 10 wide receiver, but the thing is the Saints aren't going to give you that key. They don't want to give it to you. They're paying Derek Carr $40 million a year, and you're not going to, you're not getting that.
Something a little weird. Derek Carr got hurt. Taysom Hill only had 1 rush. You'd think, Taysom Hill would come in with Derek Carr hurt.
More, yeah.
No.
Nope.
Weird. Nope. Pickup of the week, though. Ty Chandler.
Yeah, yes. 15 carries for 45.
And a touchdown.
Yeah, and Alexander Madison, concussion. He's in the concussion protocol. Probably not going to be ready to go by this upcoming week because, that's just how it usually goes with these concussions. We never see these guys be ready to go in 1 week. They're usually out for 1. So pick them up. If you got anybody on the Falcons, Saints, Patriots, or I can't think of the 4th team that's on a bye, but there's 4 teams that are on a bye this week, and if you need a replacement, Ty Chandler.
Colts.
Yes, Colts.
But Josh Dobbs is the greatest thing to ever happen to TJ Hawkinson. He had 12 targets last week, 15 this week. I believe TJ Hawkinson's like 2nd in the league in receptions right now.
It's crazy. It's a crazy number.
Josh Dobbs made Zach Ertz relevant. He absolutely loves TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, I love Josh Dobbs in Minnesota. It's just fantastic.
Looks great.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the 49ers versus the Jags, a blowout. 34-3. The 49ers whoop some ass.
Last episode I asked you, who was going to have the big game? And you said, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey did not have the big game. His streak got snapped.
He did get snapped, but he still had a good game.
He still had a good game, but he didn't have the game.
No, he didn't have the game.
He didn't have the game. The game went to Brandon Ayuk, I'd say?
The other guy I said.
George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, everybody had a good day. I mean, everybody's going to have a good day when you put up 34 points. The Jags, oh my God, the Jags looked awful.
You know who didn't have a good day? Trevor Lawrence.
Oh,
Trevor
dude.
Lawrence is terrible, man.
Can we have a conversation about Trevor Lawrence maybe being a bust?
Bust?
It's the first overall pick. He's supposed to be one of the greatest prospects of all time, and what's he done? 1 playoff win? That's it?
That's it. He's not as good as C.J. Stroud.
No, he's not as good as C.J. Stroud. We've already figured that out.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out again. We're gonna figure it out again in 2 weeks.
Who do they play in 2 weeks?
The Texans.
Oh, hey! But Christian Kirk had 56% of T-Law's yards. Christian Kirk had...
The only guy who had a good day for fantasy on the Jags.
104 yards from Christian Kirk. Very nice, Christian.
Calvin Ridley, inexistent.
Gone, nowhere to be seen. I think it may be from a product of Chase Young and Nick Bosa being absolutely terrifying. You saw the one play.
That was scary,
they
bro.
got a sack on
that was scary.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be a scary thing moving forward. I really hope that team, I hope they move some money around and are able to give Chase Young a nice contract because if they can have those two for the future, oh, that's scary. That's scary as hell.
Yeah, and it looks like Brock Purdy needs literally every single person to be healthy to have a good game.
Yes.
What did he have? 3 touchdowns, I believe, with all the guys healthy?
He's not Mr. Relevant. He's Mr. Irrelevant. So
yes,
he needs every guy to have. He needs every good guy out there.
Yes, he does.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Titans versus the Bucks. The Titans lose 6-20. Baker Mayfield comes out with the win.
God, is Will Levis not the phenom we thought he was?
I think we underestimated the Bucks secondary a little bit. I mean, they've had a couple of really bad games lately, and they kind of stepped up in this game. They played a little bit better, but still not a good day for Will Levis either. So
no, it wasn't, but it was a very good day for Mike Evans. Mike Evans almost had 2 touchdowns. He dropped one, hit him right in the hands.
Did you hear the reason why he said he dropped it?
Why?
He said he dropped it because he was trying to think of who he was going to give the ball to in the stands.
Makes sense. I believe him. But he had 6 receptions, 143 yards, and a touchdown on 10 targets. Was not a pretty day for Derrick Henry on the other side. 11 carries for 24 yards. Yeah.
The Bucks have a good run defense.
They have a very good run defense. That's probably what it is. But Will Levis, 199 yards and an interception. Trash. Kyle Phillips was their leading receiver with 61 yards.
Sad, man. D-Hop inexistent. D-Hop got locked up.
D-Hop did get locked up. He had 8 targets, though, which is what you like to see.
Yeah, half of them weren't catchable.
No, they were. Rachaad White, 2 receptions, 47 yards, a touchdown, and on the ground, Rachaad White had 20 carries and 51 yards. That's a lot of touches for that boy.
Yeah, man, he's not efficient, but hey, man, if he gets 20 touches and catches a couple passes, it's a damn good running back for fantasy.
Yes, he is. Let's see. What else do we got to talk about in this game? There's not much to talk about.
Not much.
I mean-
I didn't hear much about this game because there wasn't much to hear besides Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans, and then how trash the Titans were is really
Yeah.
all it is.
Will Levis. Do you think like moving forward, Will Levis does this change a little bit how people see him now? I mean, I changed a little bit of how I see him.
I don't know. I mean, we got to see at least one decent game, right? Surely, like
We have seen one decent game.
no, like a decent.
One more decent game?
One more decent.
Okay,
game.
we need two. We need two decent
Yeah, I mean,
games.
he's still the guy for Tennessee. I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
I
I'd
don't-
still rather have him out there than Ryan Tannehill.
absolutely, and Malik Willis.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Falcons versus the Cardinals. Kyler Murray comes back and gets the win. Falcons lose 23-25.
Dude, he has not lost a step. Did you see him
He
running
looks
around?
quick, man. He's a quick little man.
A lot of the problems that people thought he was going to have was running. Like when he came back,
It's not a
he
problem.
looked exactly like he did last year, running around the pocket and just making stuff happen. God, I'm being reminded of all the memes of talking about how he runs like a toddler.
He
And
does.
dude, he's so fast.
He's a fast little toddler.
Fast little man.
Fast little dude.
Speaking of, well, I wouldn't say fast, but a little bit, not even a little dude. I don't even know what I'm saying. Speaking of
McBride?
about Trey McBride. Trey McBride's
Used
the
every wrong way to describe him.
Trey McBride's the first Arizona tight end to have 100-plus receiving yards in a game since 1989.
Do you know who it was in 1989?
Probably Zach Ertz or
Dingus
something.
Gungus.
Yeah, probably. Dude, Arthur Smith may be listening. He may be listening to the people.
It's
Arthur
not-
Smith may be listening
He's
to
on the
people.
Twitter.
Arthur Smith's got a burner account or something somewhere because he gave not only Bijan Robinson a goal line carry, he also gave him 75% of the snaps in this game. Who would have thought, man? Your best player getting the ball makes your offense look better.
It's crazy. They still lost, though.
I mean, well, yeah. You think maybe
They
we're
need
not
they
gonna
need
see
a
it?
quarterback. They need a quarterback, dude. Taylor Heineke was awful. Desmond Ridder came in and looked just as awful. I mean, they really need a quarterback. They could probably pick somebody up right now, and they'd be better than those two.
Do you think next time we see the Falcons that they're not going to give Bijan all that work because they lost with him getting the work?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's how Arthur Smith thinks. So,
Yeah.
you know, what do you want him to do? It's-
Correlation equals causation.
Yes.
100% of the time, even when Bijan's returning your punts or something.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
insane?
That's wild. You're going to put your 8th overall pick out there to return punts? What's wrong with you?
Do
What
better.
are you doing?
Do better.
Ugh.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Lions versus the Chargers. This was a very, 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 very high-scoring game. The Lions won 41-38.
Yes, they did. And Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 touchdowns. I think he's taking David Montgomery's job, even though David Montgomery had a 75-yard touchdown.
David Montgomery still had a good day. That was a crazy run.
Hey, man, without a 75-yard touchdown, he had a pretty mid-day.
He did, but he had a 75-yard run, so we don't need to
Yeah,
worry
he did.
about that.
But something that you gotta look at. Jahmyr Gibbs took a goal line carry from
Yes,
that
he
guy.
did.
He
That's
took
good to see.
That's supposed to be what David Montgomery's bread and butter is. That's what's supposed to be David Montgomery is. And Jahmyr Gibbs took a whole goal line carry from him.
Rest of the season, would you rather have Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan? Oh, that's a tough question.
Probably Jahmyr Gibbs because I think the offense is better.
Agreed. I'd rather
Yeah.
have Jahmyr at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you see Bijan kind of dealing with the same issue that Jahmyr Gibbs was dealing with, but
But
with-
now
on
it's
a
in the
worse
second half.
offense. And
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's backwards over there.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown had a crazy day too. 8 receptions, 156 yards, and a touchdown on 9 targets. That's the sun god, man. That's what he does.
Keenan Allen on the other side also balled out. Big day for him, over 100 yards.
Yeah, he did
150
175
yards,
yards.
yeah, jeez.
11 receptions, 14 targets, 2 touchdowns, man. Keenan
Got
Allen.
hurt, came back into the game. Guy's a trooper.
Yeah, man. When you talked about that little bump on his shoulder, he hurt his shoulder. That's all I could think about. Was
The little
the little bump on his shoulder. But Jay Herbo, 4 touchdowns. Austin Eckler did his thing. He what did he have? A rushing touchdown, and he had a few receptions.
Yeah,
4
I
of
believe
them.
he was the second receiving option person.
He wasn't close to Keenan though.
No, not
Only
even 48. Not at all.
48.
They need, Quentin Johnston was supposed to be like the answer for them at like getting another wide receiver.
Yeah, touchdown.
He's not. I mean, he did, but he's not really, hasn't really been the answer. They need another good receiver.
I mean, Jalen Guyton just came back. He had a touchdown as well.
They need
I like Jalen Guyton.
they need a real receiver. Like they need a real, like if Justin Herbert had some of the firepower that we see some of these other quarterbacks have in the league, he'd be much better, and we wouldn't be able to sit here and talk about him being a loser.
Like give Justin Herbert Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Giants versus the Cowboys. This was a whooping. The Cowboys put up 49 points, and the Giants only put up 17.
Can we skip this one?
We should.
Actually, no, we shouldn't skip
skip
this
button?
one because there's still a whole side that needs to be talked about, and that's the Dallas side. No one was talking about the Giants or all those
No.
guys, but we do need to talk about Dak Prescott and him suddenly thrusting himself into the MVP race
Dude,
over the past couple
He
weeks.
looks like old Dak Prescott. I love it.
You know who doesn't look like? I was about to do another thing where it doesn't make any sense,
We're
but
gonna say Tony Pollard.
I was gonna say Tony Pollard. I mean, I guess he doesn't look like old Tony
Dude,
Pollard.
he's not scoring touchdowns. What the hell, man? Score a touchdown. What do you got to do to get a touchdown? He had multiple touchdowns taken back, didn't he?
I don't think he had him taken back.
I think he scored one, and then it got called back on a penalty.
I know he got a few goal line carries, got stuffed.
That happened too.
But he is, I believe, 25th in fantasy points for running backs since week 2. Tony Pollard's bad. If you can't score against the Giants when you're up by 30,
It's-
and like Rico didn't Rico. Oh, let me check this. Did
I think
Rico Dowdle score?
got one, didn't he?
Rico Dowdle looked good. He looked better
he
than
did
Tony
look good. He
Pollard.
looked quick, dude. Rico Dowdle looked good.
Rico Dowdle, rest of season, or Tony Pollard.
Is Rico Dowdle is Tony Pollard Zeke and Rico Dowdle's the new Tony Pollard?
No!
Is this what we're seeing? Are we seeing a repeat of what's happened in the past? Will the second running back on the Cowboys always be better than the first?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
he was more efficient. 12 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown. Tony Pollard, 15 carries, 55 yards. And, oh, wait. You would think Tony Pollard got some receptions, because he's a great receiving back.
right?
He ain't get jack. He ain't get a single reception.
Nothing.
Zero, zilch, nada. But you know who did get receptions? CeeDee Lamb and
Crazy
Brandon
record.
Cooks.
He past 3 games, over 10 receptions, over 150 yards. First wide receiver in NFL history to ever do that. He's been balling.
Yeah, throw your good players the ball. Brandon Cooks, 9 receptions,
He's
173
been
yards,
balling
touchdown.
too. He's averaging 13.5 points in half PPR right now over the past 4 games.
Michael Gallup had a touchdown, man.
Deep ball. Hey, dude, that's all Dak Prescott. That was a beautiful throw by Dak.
Jake Ferguson had a touchdown, man.
Everybody had a touchdown besides Tony Pollard.
Exactly.
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the Commanders versus the Seahawks. The Seahawks come out on top 29-26.
There are really only 2 notable plays from this game outside, Actually, no, I shouldn't say that, but there were 2 huge plays, both from Kenneth Walker and Brian Robinson, both long receiving touchdowns from 2 guys you wouldn't expect.
Isn't that weird? I understand 1 happening being weird, but 2 happening, that's just odd.
Yeah, very odd. Sam Howell, though, 312 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Do you know who leads the league in passing yards right now?
Probably Sam Howell. 'Cause I'm
Sam
talking about
Howell.
him.
It's freaking crazy. That's
Ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense, bro. That's insane.
Brian Robinson, 119 receiving yards and a touchdown. Antonio Gibson had a receiving touchdown. De'Ami Brown had a nice touchdown off a great throw from Sam Howell as well. That put them over the Seahawks. Or actually, no, it didn't. It tied them up with the Seahawks.
Yes.
And then the Seahawks went down. All DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf was breaking tackles, running slants, and just got him into field goal range. They spiked it with 4 seconds left, and they hit a game-winning field goal.
What do we got to do for JSN to be more involved in this offense?
Probably sacrifice Tyler Lockett to
Let's
the gods.
sacrifice him already. Let's get him out of here. He's old.
No, but he's so good.
But I want to see JSN.
Jason had 5 targets, 53 yards.
I want more.
He had more yards.
I want
than-
more. I
he
want
had-
more from you, JSN. I want more.
He had more yards than first-round phenom Jahan Dotson, who had 2.
Not
Dude,
many for him.
What was it? 2 or 3 straight weeks of Jahan Dotson being an absolutely great flex play for you, and then he comes and drops a goose egg on you. The 1 week I started him, I haven't one league. I benched him 2 straight weeks, and I come and start him. He drops me 0.
It'd be like that. Jahan Dotson has a personal vendetta against you.
God, this is a personal message to Jahan Dotson. Watch your back, bud.
Oh,
I won in that league. I don't really
Jahan
care, but
Dotson's
I
like
won.
leaving the Commander Stadium. He's like, oh.
But I started him over
It's Silly
Devin.
Sports. Where's Silly Sports
I
at?
started him over Devin Singletary, man.
Uh,
What else do we got in this game?
Zach Charbonnet, listen, I understand that he's not out carrying Kenneth Walker, and I understand Kenneth Walker had a much better game for fantasy, but yards per carry wise, 7.3 for Charbonnet, 3.3 for Kenneth Walker. It's going to happen eventually. Zach Charbonnet is going to be a problem in this offense, and he's going to steal work from Kenneth.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but it is going to happen.
Yeah, man, it's a tale as old as time, man. Rookie running backs coming in at the second half of the year and taking over. So
Oh, and if Kenneth ever got hurt,
it's over.
dude, Charbonnet, top 10, top 15 back.
Dude, we saw this last year, didn't we? Was last year
who?
the year that Chris Carson got hurt? Chris Carson.
Oh,
come
it's
in?
always a Seahawks. Some Seahawks
Yeah.
running back, Thomas Rawls.
Someone. Who cares?
Next.
The next game we're going to be talking about is the last game we're going to be talking about, the Jets-Raiders. Raiders come out on top 16-12.
Yeah, nice little shit show. I mean, I was sweating Brees Hall first touchdown for a minute, and then nothing happened until the third quarter. So I think it was third quarter. Michael Mayer touchdown. Like, ooh,
Brees
yippee.
Hall, What's going on, man? 13 for 28. What the? What
He
is
did have a
this?
touchdown called back though. He had a touchdown that was called back on a holding or something. So that it's grain of salt, I guess. But
Still, it doesn't count. And 13 for 28 at the end of the day.
did you see Garrett Wilson's attempt at a pass?
I didn't end up seeing it, but I did. I saw it on the stat sheet. I was like, Garrett Wilson threw a
Dude, he
pass?
threw it right at it. I don't know if he threw it away on purpose, but it was
I took a
terrible.
break. I didn't watch the whole middle of this game because I was just irritated. All my fantasy teams were losing, and I was watching this game, and I didn't want to watch it anymore. It was tough to watch.
Mental health break.
Yeah.
Brees Hall, he was terrible on the ground, but through the air, 3 receptions, 47 yards. That's not too bad. It came on I think 2 plays. He really had
Wasn't
big
it
chunks.
at the?
It was a little bit towards the end. It was
Yeah.
in the second half.
Zach Wilson, man, he loves his checkdowns.
You know who else he loves? He loves Garrett Wilson. 14 targets, 9 receptions, 93 yards. Not a bad day, but it is a pretty bad day when you realize he could have had a long touchdown on a Hail Mary if it wasn't batted down by Tyler Conklin trying to play DB.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you like? What do you like? There's no way on the last play of the game you could justify swatting down.
Call him Darrell
What?
Revis.
I mean, I get it if it's in the middle of the game and it's a long throw and you're trying to keep the DB from getting it, but dude, it's the last play of the game. It makes zero sense.
Did you see Garrett Wilson's hops on that?
dude?
Dude, that guy
he's
got
up.
4 feet in the air at least. He got up there.
Yeah, I mean, other side of the ball though, Raiders. Aiden O'Connell had an all right day. Devontae Adams, 13 targets, 86 yards. You like seeing that? 6 receptions. He was dancing in the locker room. You know, Antonio Pierce.
Cigar.
Yeah, cigars, dancing. Antonio Pierce 2-0.
Every win they get, it's like winning the Super Bowl for them. They go into that locker room and celebrate like they I don't even know, like they just went undefeated.
It's like the video. You see the video of Patrick Beverly, like when he won the
Yeah,
when he
he
won the
did.
play-in game and he's throwing his
Yeah.
jersey in the stands. Exactly what it is for them. They're 5-5, but cool, I guess.
Do you think they can make the playoffs?
They can. I don't think they do.
Yeah, that's a good assessment.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap.
That's a
That
wrap.
was all of our games. Did you have a favorite game from this week?
I mean, I liked seeing Kyler Murray back in Atlanta, Arizona. It wasn't a great game though, but I would probably say Houston, Cincinnati.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's the
was-
game I picked to be the game of the week. So
That was the game of the week, I think. Back and forth, a couple interceptions, couple ups, couple downs. CJ Stroud coming out on top. What more could you want?
What more could you want? What was the worst game? The Jets Raiders or the Colts?
Colts Patriots, dude.
It was
Just because
bad.
I had to wake up at 9:30. Oh my! How you gonna make me wake up at 9:30 to watch this game? It's not fair. Send somebody else better to Germany.
I think they're done. I think this is the last.
Yeah, I think that was it. I
Yeah,
think
this
that was
is
the last one. That's
No
it.
more 9:30 games.
No more. Thank
No
the
more.
Lord. No more. But I think that's all we got for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Tico from the Tico Fantasy Show. This is the Not a Football Show. That's Sully Sports. You got any last comments, Sully?
Fire Bill Belichick.
Fire Bill Belichick. Now that's facts. Have a wonderful day, guys, and have a wonderful day.